Hello, everybody, and welcome to D&D Podcast. You didn't ask for one more role. My name is Zach, the Dungeon Master, and I'm here with the Battle Masters, one of the many teams that'll be competing in the Gauntlet of Champions. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Aiden. I'll be playing Cornelius Wonderbolt, who's a level 8 Aberrant Mind sorcerer, and he is a very fun character.
Tell me about yourself real quick, though. What does the audience need to know about you?
I am 20 years old, and I've been playing D&D for a little over a year now, and I'm very excited for the tournament.
All right. Go ahead. Next.
All right.
Yeah? You're...
Sorry, my mic just went out.
I'm like, yeah, your name, you know? You remember your name?
No, yeah, I'm Meg or Megan, whatever. I'm playing my Medoc. She's a human battle master fighter, level 8 as well. She is my absolute favorite character to play as. And by the way, Zach, you didn't mention that we're literally the best team here.
You're right. I apologize.
How'd you forget that?
It slips my mind. There's so many cool teams. Meg, give me a little fun fact about yourself.
Oh yeah.
Something you want the audience to know.
Well, I'm probably the oldest person here, so I'm 22, maybe
You're
I'm
not.
the oldest. Oh man.
There's a literal teacher competing.
Oh, okay, I did not know that.
Oh my god, dude, I love the lineup. The roster of people we have is fucking insane.
I'm used to being the oldest out of it.
No, we get adults.
So fun fact about myself, I'm an artist. That's it. I don't have any other interesting things about myself.
Okay.
Zach really decided that icebreakers would be a great...
Yeah, honestly.
You know, here's my logic. The audience is not gonna know who the fuck you are. You might as well make
They'll learn who I am.
They'll learn who you are, but they gotta know a tiny bit about you, a tiny bit. Okay. So I want to start this off. This is going to be episode 1 of the podcast. I've recorded a few other interviews already, and a few of them have mentioned the fact that episode 1 has not been recorded yet. I have no idea what I'm going to say. So this is going to be one of the 4 teams that exist in the campaign outside of the tournament, right? There's a whole campaign this tournament's built around. Meaning these characters existed not to synergize in a trio, but instead to fill a role for a party, a regular D&D party. And they also have the ability to recruit NPCs, and this team recruited one. His name is Malfox. He's actually an original party member way back, but his player stopped playing D&D, so I picked him back up. I'm like, okay, he still exists, and they recruited that guy. So pretty much, I'm also filling in a role for this team, but every decision I make will be based on what they want me to do for this character. So there's no unfair, oh, he's the DM, he knows everything. Nah, trust me, I don't.
Just to specify, Malfox is a level, he's a multi-classed between Swashbuckler Rogue and Battlemaster Fighter, and I believe he uses dual scimitars, which is really cool. And he was actually largely inspired by Jack Sparrow, which is super sick.
Man, you got that to a fucking T. You only have his character sheet. Level 5 Battlemaster, level 3 Rogue, so he has some cool combat abilities, while also being able to just move around and then fucking hit things real fast, which is pretty cool. He also gets all armor proficiency as well, so he has play armor, which is fucking awesome. But I'm getting ahead of myself real quick. We got to talk a bit about the characters now, just to understand who these characters are and what they're doing in the tournament and together, So I'll just keep it brief with Malfox, original party member. His entire thing is that he lies about being a great hero, and people believe him. That's it. Like, Malfox is... I don't even know if Malfox is his real name, but it's, like, basically associated with fake deeds that he's done, and he's regarded as a hero, despite not being a hero. That's pretty much it. He's just been kind of fucking around in the city at this point in time. Anyways, one of you two can take it up and talk about your characters in terms of just any personality, backstory, things you want to talk about. We'll talk about the actual strategies in a bit, though.
Yeah, I'll go first with Cornelius. I'd like to mention he's the campaign started with 4 player characters, and Cornelius is the last of those characters still in the party. He's at the start of the campaign, he was a charlatan. He was scamming people, stealing statues in museums, destroying lawn tools because he thought it would be funny. And he went down a relatively dark path at the beginning. He was callous, he was cruel. He murdered a shopkeeper in cold blood who had just lost her shop to the corrupt city guard during a fire in the city. But since that experience, he turned a relatively new leaf. He began taking his missions more seriously. He began caring about the people in his party, including more than most of the other people in the party. And he also started up a business venture.
Oh my god.
In one of I think it was like the third or the fourth session.
It was pretty early, yeah.
The party stumbled upon Funko Pops in the Zent ghettos.
God.
And Cornelius really liked those. So later down the line, he found the creator of the Funko Pops and started a business with him. And he's definitely going to advertise that business and launch the business during the tournament. He has someone special watching him in this tournament. His son, Ford Wonderbolt, will be watching from the stadiums and cheering him on.
This is true, yeah.
He has a lot to prove with this tournament. He's quite powerful. He has a lot of different spells. He has a lot of cool stuff in his kits.
Real quick pause you just for a moment.
Yeah.
I noticed Meg laughed when you mentioned Ford Wonderbolt, right? Meg, is this the first time you're hearing that Ford is actually real?
Wait, he's real. He's real.
That's why. Yes, this is the first time.
Oh my god, I thought it was like a whole fake thing this whole time. My thinks it's real, but I thought it was fake.
Every player has thought it was fake. But as is mentioned here, there's no reason someone should lie on the interview. It's not coming out until way after the thing starts, so he has no benefit to lie here.
Initially, I rolled a deception to tell people about him, so we came up with the story that he's not his actual son, so that's where he was being deceptive. Which he's his adopted son.
I see.
He'll be an interesting character for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But every player doesn't know he exists, and it's really funny. At the time we're recording this, it's exactly a week before he's introduced to the party. So that's gonna be a lot of fun doing that little bit of role play. I'm excited. But yeah, Cornelius has a lot. He's made a lot of good friends too, including Muckmeth, a random 14-year-old kid from a mining town.
Yep. Also, he has a close relationship with Cronus, who is a detective and mole master. Yizik, a lizardfolk shopkeeper. They used to be close pals, but I think they drifted a little bit. But Justin Justice, one of the town guards and a fellow competitor in the tournament, who also has a very close relationship with Mai.
Yeah.
You want to. I think it's a great spot. Mai, take it away. Talk about.
Oh boy. Okay. So can I talk about
talk about anything you fucking want?
Okay. So the funny part about my elemental evil and stuff is that I was part of the original, and so is Aiden. But I was part of the original elemental evil crew.
It goes back further.
It goes back even further. So God, I'm not gonna go into like full details, but essentially my character got arrested and we ended up having to try to escape that prison. The prison guard, Gurin,
the warden,
my bad. The warden, Gurin, almost caught the characters that we played as before we escaped. My character being one of the last to jump out of the window and see him round the corner. And ironically now, Mai is Gurin's daughter.
So Meg essentially took, hey, this guy was scary when we first played. I'm gonna be related to him.
It was your idea.
It was
though.
my idea
Yeah.
because we need to somehow get you invested in the plot. And I
Yeah.
can give you the choice. Originally, mine was actually planned to have ties with the crows. Was what you originally wanted to do,
Yes.
which is
yes.
essentially
And
an antagonist faction
I'm
in my version of Mole Master. And for those of you who know Mole Master and are gonna be like, no, that's not right. It's custom. I homebrewed the city.
I'm glad I did that because that would have been really lame in my opinion.
Honestly, yeah.
I love Mai. She's such a cool character. She's made me love fighters because of her
And humans.
and humans. Yeah, shut up.
Literally never played a human race and refused to. I'm like, nah, you gotta be human. This is a mostly human city.
So I love unarmed fighting. The fact that her fists can do the same amount of damage as her sword, and her new sword is the best thing ever.
We'll talk about that new sword in a bit.
Yes,
but not now.
But
tell me about the Justin thing real quick.
Oh yeah. So, as in said, mine and Justin have a very close connection because I am a hopeless romantic. So I have an NPC. Mine has an NPC boyfriend, which is Justin,
Mhm.
and they'll be potentially against each other. Maybe. She won't
Potentially,
hold-
he's on the Winged Warriors. Justin is an NPC on the Winged Warriors team. If you are more interested in hearing about him, go ahead and go watch that interview if it's out now. We actually do talk a lot about the original Elemental Evil, as well as like Curran and Mai, the characters that got to that point. So it's if you want a more in-depth explanation there, go right ahead to that episode.
Yeah.
It's all right there for you.
She won't hold back, and he won't hold back. So this is going to be fun. I'm
Mhm.
excited for this tournament for a lot of reasons.
And I also-
mainly the
Yeah, go
sword.
Mainly the sword. This is actually the reveal of your sword for the first time. You've yet to use the sword.
Yes.
At least this new mechanic on the
This new
sword.
mechanic, yeah.
We'll talk about that whole thing in a bit. I do want to mention the alignments of your two characters.
Yes.
At the very beginning was very I don't think it's the polar opposite. It was not the polar opposite at the very beginning because it was chaotic evil. And what is Mai's alignment?
Mine's chaotic good.
I'm looking. Yeah. No.
Oh, sorry, no,
neutral
good. Neutral good.
And what is Cornelius now? Neutral evil?
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah, neutral, yeah. So, funny, because on the party, originally, Cornelius and Mai were the two most furthest apart alignments, just completely. So the fact that they're both here together, teaming up with one another, is a lot of fun. It also shows how much Cornelius has grown, and how, pretty much how much of an impact Mai has made on the party as one of the best melee fighters, just straight up.
Yeah, I think it goes to show a lot of depth in both of these characters that they were able to be on the same team together.
Mhm.
I think some of the key moments that led to their friendship now, because they were not friends before, but now they are friends, was they both were there when one of the party members, Uchi, died. So that was a bonding moment there. And they also are two of the more mission-focused characters, as many of the other characters will, go do random stuff during the missions. And Cornelius and Mai are relatively focused on accomplishing the goal at hand. So they typically work together to, achieve the goals.
And
Yeah. Sorry,
and
go on.
I was just about to say, my certainly focuses on doing what is quote unquote the right thing or helping as many people as she can during missions. So I think her and Cornelius sort of covered different aspects of what is the goal of the mission. Mai is sort of like, rushing ahead and potentially clearing out things so she can help anyone that may be trapped or kidnapped or hurt or something like that. And then Cornelius then takes on the bad guy. Unless it's Mai bullying the bad guy with her battle maneuvers.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys remember this, by the way. I think it was the same mission where Uchi died. Was the first time I threw a Hydra at you guys, right?
Oh, the Hydra.
And you guys ended up fighting, not the Hydra, but like a water thing, right? Because the other people were fighting the Hydra, and you guys were kind of like stuck behind. And I remember vividly, I think you guys had shared initiative or something because
Yes,
you
we
both
did.
ended up finishing it off by, I don't know if it was a fire bolt. I think you fire bolted, right?
Mm-hmm.
My sword, so that in that same strike, so that her sword's on fire with the finishing blow on that thing, which was
Yep.
a lot of fun. So I already love the flavor between these two characters just working together.
It's
It's just a lot of fun.
my flavoring is fun because she's a martial. So if her and another spellcaster are doing something together, they generally always flavor as giving her like a little boost, and I love that.
So
Yeah.
let's actually talk about now the individual strategies on each character.
Yes.
I'll start off with Malfox just because it'll be real quick. I've done this a few times. I kind of understand it at this point, right? So Malfox is dual wield scimitars, and that's his main form of attacking. He has the, I don't think I gave him the mobile feat because I didn't need to. He just has 30 feet of movement, but because of his fancy footwork, he's pretty much able to get up close to people and not, when he swings at them, not take opportunity attacks when he moves away. He doesn't need advantage for sneak attack as well because of rakish audacity. When it comes down to his Battlemaster side of things, he has precision attack where he can add his a die to hit, potentially landing a strike. He can add feinting attack, which he expends a bonus action to fake out the enemy within 5 feet and give himself advantage on the next attack. And if it hits, it adds the die to the damage. And then he has rally, and as a bonus action, he can pick an ally that can see or hear him, and he can give them temporary HP, which is pretty nice. It's not too bad when you guys have very limited healing options. When it comes to healing for Malfox, he has Second Wind as a fighter, only a D10 plus 5, which isn't terrible. Cunning action allows him to pretty much get in close to his enemies if he needs to. He has extra attack as a martial, so he can make 3 swings per turn. And he has 2 up in fighting, obviously, because he's dual wielding. But that's pretty much it. He's a very cut and dry character, a striker through and through, and is going to be on the front lines almost consistently. There's no reason he would not be in the front lines. And that's him. That's it. Simple as that. There's not much I need to add there. Who wants to go next?
Yeah. Cornelius is obviously going to be the blaster of this this group.
Mhm.
So he'll be hanging in the back while Mai and Malfox operate as the strikers and tanks. He has max charisma of 20, which is going to be really good. Spell save of 16, also quite good. And then he's aberrant mind, so he has some really tricky stuff with resisting psychic damage, which a lot of people wouldn't expect, because psychic damage is really good. And then I also have a list of psionic spells that I just get for free. Meta magic is something that I use quite a lot, with my 2 options being empowered spell, which lets me reroll damage dice, and twinned spells, which lets me cast 2 spells simultaneously on different opponents.
I'll say it. I think you are probably the best sorcerer I've seen in one more role because you use meta magic a lot and it never feels like a waste. Like, you know how to optimize meta magic usage and it's fantastic.
Well, you're supposed to maximize meta magic.
Oh, you're supposed to, or you're supposed to do these for flavoring or something like that. But at the same time, not a lot of people use meta magic.
As for the weaknesses of Cornelius, it's definitely HP and AC, especially 58 HP. Not very great for a level 8 character. Natural AC is 10. However, I took the Eldritch Adept feat, which gives me Armor of Shadows for free, which boosts it up to 13. I also am looking forward to securing a Ring of Protection, which would boost my AC from 10 to 14. And then I also have Shield, which
fucking Shield, bro.
For those of you who don't know, I'd like to say the same thing every time I cast Shield. When the DM asks, "Oh, does a 19 hit you?" I like to say, "Not when I cast Shield." And it's very good. I like to use Shield as optimally as possible, because I think avoiding that damage is a really good thing. I also have Counterspell as a defensive metric against spellcasters. And then lots of different powers with mix of AoE and Chromatic Orb, which is one of my all-time favorite spells, which I will cast at multiple levels during the tournament. Fireball is a classic. Magic Missile is that's going to be if I haven't been getting damage and I just need damage down. A new spell I just took was Phantasmal Force.
Ooh, okay.
I'm super excited to use that because it allows me to choose what I want the shape of the phantasm to be. And certainly I will use that against different characters to be things that character would that would invoke different emotions of that specific character. Like, for example, Marlig, I would make the phantasm a bear because Marlig will lock onto a bear and he will just focus on fighting the phantasm.
Now, it's just Phantasm out of curiosity. Does he do damage, or how does that work?
It can do damage. It's a relatively tricky spell. Let me pull that up for you.
Target a single individual, so it's not like everyone else sees it, just them.
Yep, but I could use Twinned to.
Oh shit, you could. Although again, if your concentration drops on one, it drops on both, but it's not too bad. Twinning two is pretty good. Now, what happens if they swing at it? Do they notice it's fake, or does it act like they think it hits?
So it's quite a complicated spell.
It really is.
Phantasm created to appear as a creature can attack the target. Similarly, a phantasm created to appear as a fire, pool of acid, or lava can burn the target. Each round on your turn, the phantasm can deal 1d6 psychic damage to the target if it is in the phantasm's area or within 5 feet of the phantasm, provided the illusion is of a creature or hazard that could logically deal damage, such as
like a bear.
The target perceives the damage as a type appropriate to the illusion.
So it's psychic damage, but they perceive it as slashing.
Yeah, which the characters that I plan to definitely use this against are characters that would be inherently weak to psychic damage, with low intelligence, barbarians. Specifically, if I'm up against, if we face dropping the ball, I'll do a phantasm of Balthazar towards Matthew.
Oh, shit!
I will utilize the telepathic speech to mimic Balthazar's voice.
Oh my god, dude. Holy
Matthew
shit.
against Balthazar, and he is incredibly low intelligence. So it would be very difficult.
That's a fucking great strategy. What the fuck is that shit? Oh my god. Okay.
I plan a lot. Had a lot of different tricky maneuvers that Cornelius can do. Because what he lacks in physical strength, he has in a diverse spell kit and high charisma.
Now, I do want to ask, because obviously you mentioned pretty much all the spells you plan to use. Did you mention Blight, your favorite 4th level spell?
Did not. Blight it's just a tactical nuke is how I'll use it. It's
so fucking good.
It's 30 feet distance, which is pretty poor. However, I plan to use that as like a kill switch, that if people are bloodied and beaten, I rush in, use Blight, twin it if I have to, because I can twin Blight, and it is like 8d8 damage, which even halved is still ridiculously good.
I noticed something very different from how you play Cornelius in the actual campaign with what you just said.
Yeah.
You plan, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you said you plan to use Blight to finish off enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, normally, that's your opening gambit.
Yeah, normally I use it to whittle down the big boss.
Mm-hmm.
In order to sort of make sure that the rest of the party can take them out with minimal damage. Now, in this case, I would use Blight if, like, Malfox or Mai go down, right? However, I think Blight would be a good way to just finish the match or finish a player.
So is there a reason on why you don't want to use this as an opening gambit then? My voice cracked there, because guys, you're going to find on these next 4 fucking episodes, I'm sick right now. So I sound terrible.
I prefer opening with utilizing my first level spell slots and sort of catch people off guard when I bust out the higher level stuff. And I want to start out with, laying traps, twinning chromatic orbs, fire bolts, maybe even like a fireball, because that's only a level 3 spell. But those 4th level spell slots are going to be very important. And I still have a spell that I've yet to decide on. It might be a level 4, might be a lower level. but I'm planning on having that to really complete the kit. And I don't want to just start off the gate with tactical nuking, because then that will trigger the opponents to use their nukes, right?
Okay, kind of like a Cold War situation where, hey, if we nuke you, you're just gonna nuke us back.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, there's one more spell on this list I want to talk about.
Sure.
Because it's not a real spell; it's a homebrewed spell that we found and gave it to you. Static Arc. Can you tell us what Static Arc does, and tell us if you plan to at all utilize it in this tournament?
Basically, Static Arc, I shoot some electricity out at someone, and it hits them, and it does like 3d6 or something at like second level. I think it's 3d6. And then I can use one of those arcs to jump to someone within 5 feet. And then that will do extra damage. And then basically each time it hits someone, it gets rid of a die.
Yeah, so it would be 3d6 to 2d6 to 1d6.
Yeah. The way I would use that would be if they're clumped up, right? But my allies are also there, and I can't realistically send out like a fireball at them.
So it's like a mix-up, like, okay, I need some sort of AoE. This is an AoE, but it'll work kind of thing?
Yeah, because I don't have, like, Sculpt spell that the Evocation Wizards have. So I need to be sure to utilize AoE to the best of my abilities.
So, going into a match as the backliner, do you have somebody that you plan to target in terms of, like, a role on a team for your spell specifically, starting off?
It would depend. Probably I would go for at least a spellcaster at first, depending on, how the initiative is rolled. That plays a huge factor of who I would be targeting. And secondly, it also matters who my and Malfucks are targeting, because basically I want to do what they're not doing.
Okay, that makes sense. I can see that. So you're kind of gonna be very versatile on who you're fighting, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing I want to cover is healing on the party. Since we don't have a healer, but we have 2 fighters, they both get second wind, and I am working on procuring a magic item. It's like
Amulet of the Drunkard.
Amulet of the Drunkard, yes. And if I would bring in basically I have a bag of holding, so I'd stuff a bunch of ales in my bag of holding, and then when I am down, it takes an action, but healing's worth an action. And I'll drink the ale, and it basically is like a potion. So the reason I decided on taking this instead of trying to take like magic initiate or something like that to get a spell would be so that we all have like individual healing methods. So when we're down, we sacrifice our own actions to heal ourselves instead of sacrificing an action to heal someone else.
Well, here is one of the issues that you're kind of running into compared to normal healers. All your healing methods, to my knowledge, will mostly be before you're knocked down. Second wind cannot be used if they're unconscious, obviously. And Amulet of the Drunkard, odds are the melee units are not going to be next to you, where they can go up to you and then force feed you alcohol,
Yeah.
So with that being said, unlike everyone else who can heal more than once, because all you guys realistically can heal one time each, you have to be still standing when you do that.
Yeah.
So it's a bit iffy there.
I think we have the damage output where that will still be a concern when the time comes. But I think that with Cornelius being in the back, even though he's still squishy, if someone launches a spell at me, I can counterspell it, right? Or I can shield. And I have ways to be more defensive, and then I can come at them with a blight or a fireball or a level 4 chromatic orb and really hit them where it hurts when they're trying to attack me.
Nice. That's a little insight on Cornelius' strategy. Let's move over to my strategy now. I'm opening up my sheet right now.
Yeah, let's go.
So let's talk about her basic stuff before we talk about the weapon. That'll be the last thing we discuss. Tell me what's unique in Mai's kit as a fighter, because obviously you have, as mentioned, the unarmed fighting style. So if you at any point lose your sword, you can use your fists. We all know you have second wind, you have action surge. So tell me about let's start off with the subclass features first, if you don't mind. Take it away.
Yes. So she's a battle master, so she also has battle master maneuvers. Her ones are grappling strike, disarming attack, menacing attack, trip attack, and oh god, this French word. How is it?
Bro,
Dude,
fuck if I know. Fuck if I know. Don't ask me.
I remember we looked it up. It's oh god, I don't want to sound like a dingus.
I'm just looking it up right now. It's repost. It's exactly how it's said.
Repost. Okay.
It's repost.
Okay, so it's repost. So
Repost. No. No, it's fucking it's repost.
so what's fun about her stuff is that grappling strike is meant to go with her unarmed fighting because she does this fun thing where if she grabs you and she kind of is just holding you there, she does free damage on somebody.
Yeah, per turn, right?
Per turn, or per how long I'm grappling them for.
Yeah,
It's usually it's just once though, because when she does this, the only reason why she'd be grabbing somebody is if she's gonna suplex them. In terms of disarming attack, and this is what Zach told me, and he regrets doing it.
I don't regret it. I just fucking wish you guys didn't ruin a boss fight of mine.
I'm sorry. I had a lot of fun though. So my strategy for this is that with disarming attack, I can disarm someone's weapon or their spellcasting focus. And Mai has the fun ability of feat of Mage Slayer too. So going into this, Mai's fun stuff, her kit that I kind of set up for the tournament also works with how the campaign runs out. But I chose Mage Slayer in mind of this tournament as well to deal with pesky spellcasters.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the audience a favor. Don't talk about your feats yet. Focus on you still have 3 maneuvers you have not explained. If they do not know what they are.
But I wanted to talk about that. So grappling strike, she can grab people and it's fun. Disarming attack lets her obviously disarm someone. Menacing attack, I feel like that's self-explanatory. She smacks them.
It's really not.
Well, okay. Fine.
Go technical. What does it do? What does it do? You didn't write it down in your sheet. How am I supposed to know?
I don't need to. Because
what does it do? What does it do?
So when I hit somebody, right, I can attempt to frighten them. They have to make a wisdom save, otherwise they're scared of me, and the creatures then gets the frightened status.
Okay. Let's go.
And then with trip attack, I literally can trip somebody, and then that will let myself or others gain advantage on them because they'll be knocked prone. What condition do they get? They get proned. They're knocked prone.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty nice. And then what about riposte?
And riposte is if they miss a melee attack on me, I can use my reaction to hit them essentially and add these.
Fucking insane, by the way. That's like one of the best ones, just straight up. Over here, I would say trip attack, riposte, and disarming are probably your best. Disarming because I know that when you disarm, it's not a big deal unless you pick up the fucking weapon that you disarmed, which becomes a real pain in my fucking ass as a DM. When the character's a 20 strength, so ripping it out of their hands is not really an option.
Oh yeah, mine has a 20 strength, by the way.
So obviously you got pretty good maneuvers.
Yes.
Menacing is probably your worst one, with very situational in terms of when you would use it.
Yeah.
Grappling works in an entire different entire different build that you have, but the other ones are all just really good and stacked. How many maneuvers do you have?
I have 5 maneuver. Wait, you mean superiority die or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 5 superiority die.
My bad. My fucking bad. Mobby. Yeah. And then the DC for those maneuvers are 16 because you use your strength, also fucking insane. This is very strength heavy build, which is really good. tell me about Know Your Enemy, because this is something that not a lot of people know Battle Masters get, and if they did, I think they'd be a bit more worried about the banquet, which is the first part of this entire thing.
So, know your enemy, and I don't have the page up, but I essentially get to know if something. So, I have to spend a minute around this person or creature.
Oh, you should have a page up. What are you doing?
Oh God, I just because I'm
What are
trying
you doing right now? We're in an interview about your character, and you don't know your shit.
Don't give me that. I know
Oh,
my character.
like all I'm
I
saying.
know. No, I
Best
know my
team?
character.
Where's the best team? I'm looking for them.
Excuse me. So,
maybe you'll find them in your interview of the team.
oh God.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Dude, that I don't even know. I don't even fucking know. Did they schedule their interview yet? I don't think they fucking did. I'm checking.
Anyway, so
They did not.
know your enemy is fun. So I spend a minute observing or interacting with something outside of combat, and I can use what I've learned to compare it to my own capabilities. It is up to your digression, the DMs, to tell me if they are my equal, my superior, or inferior, and then I get to choose what I want to. Two things that I want to know about them: either their strength score, their dexterity score, their constitution score, their armor class, their hit points, total class levels, and then if they have any fighter class levels.
Obviously, the last two are very fucking useless to you, probably.
Yeah.
Right? You all know they have 8 class levels, and you'll find out they have fighter levels. But even the fact that you can figure out 2 of the 5 that you listed is pretty nice. It's pretty cool. Granted, you don't get an exact number. It's just, hey, are they equal? Are they better? Are they worse? You know, which is it's still pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and then I can use that. There's some synergy here with the team. If I'm in telepathic communication with she can talk back to me in telepathic. So she can relay the information to me.
Dude, I realize that means you guys can actually strategize mid-match and be fine without them knowing. Which is really fucking good. I will say, for the sake of the podcast, refrain from doing that unless you fucking need to, you know? At the banquet, you're gonna have more than a minute for everyone that you're interacting with, right? Which is really good for you, because that means you have 7 teams to speak to get information from. Let me ask, strategy-wise, which of these 2 do you plan on using the most out of the Know Your Enemy ability? Like, which 2 are you gonna focus on getting information about?
See, I think the easy go-tos are AC and hit points. Because I personally wouldn't have or even just strategizing myself. Maybe I could be doing this wrong, but it's just what I think wouldn't be that important. But I don't really think I need to know someone's strength score. A lot of my maneuvers, like, I'm not going to be using my maneuvers on someone that would be deemed as a potential superior or someone on my level, you know? Because that would just be a potential waste. Unless I know that I can do this, like if it's something like menacing, even though I probably wouldn't use that, but you get what I mean.
Let's talk about your feats now, if you don't mind. So you have 4 feats as I think you are a variant human.
I am a variant human.
Variant human that ended up being a fighter.
So I have 4 feats. I already discussed Mage Slayer. That was the most recent one I took. However, I have 2 really cool feats that are a blast for me. I think they are probably the best feats for a martial class, in my opinion. And that is Heavy Armor Master, because I reduce non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage by 3. And it's 3 points, but it's still, it's still 3 points, And it's just, I think from a flavoring standpoint too, seeing, someone get hit by something and it's kind of clear that it really didn't affect them that much too is just kind of fun. Then I have Shield Master, and early on I kind of fumbled using Shield Master, but now I know. So this is kind of my thing against spellcasters, because a lot of them have you do dex saves with their attacks. And guess what Shield Master lets you do if you pass a dex save? Oh, boy, howdy, you take no damage.
Well, it still takes a reaction to do that, but yeah, you do.
No,
that.
but yeah, it's a reaction, which is fine. But like, you know, that's better than nearly losing all of my health to a fireball. You know.
That's fair. That's really fair.
And then I have Savage Attacker simply because I think. Well, I know you did the numbers, but mine's damage output is just absolutely insane. So for her to be able to potentially get max damage twice since she has multi-attack, you know, that's scary for anybody who is on the squishier side.
Yeah, you got a list of powerful feats. And then obviously you have your fucking ancestral weapon, which
Oh, yes.
let me explain how that works a bit, because I found this really fucking cool. I was really into looking, and I still kind of am, about the divide between martials being shitty compared to casters, right? That's a very obvious thing that the community has realized at this point. But ancestral weapon is something that I discovered on, I don't know what site it was, but I got it. I bought it. It was like a few bucks, you know? And it essentially is a weapon from an ancestor. Ooh, who could have thought? Which Mai's mom is dead. Works out wonderfully.
Awesome.
So it's Mai's mom's sword. And pretty much, you get these spirit points from doing heroic deeds, right? With a max of a certain number, based on your level. I think it's 2 higher than your current level.
I believe
And
so, yes.
you can then buy upgrades for your sword with these points. And what was your first upgrade? Or did you only buy...
I only bought Slayer because I did not.
Really?
I didn't have enough for Vial or whatever
Okay,
it's called.
so Slayer essentially is whenever she attacks a humanoid, it's an additional 2d6 damage. And that's a lot because a lot of people are humanoids, you know, and
that's why I took it. That's why I took it.
It's really fucking good, and the party has no idea she can do this yet. So her sword on average does 1d8 plus 2d6 plus 5, which is just a lot. Nothing too OP, of course, but it's really cool kind of trump card that you got going on. So what are your thoughts on that?
I'm very excited for Slayer because I cannot wait to encounter someone that I know is gonna be cocky because they're gonna be like, "You're just a martial class. What are you gonna do?" And then like I knock them down to nearly half their health with the 2 swings maybe. You know.
Yeah, I get you. So tell me, what is Mai going to prioritize in the fight in terms of who she's targeting?
Mai is going to prioritize spellcasters because she finds spellcasters to be very annoying. So now that she can disarm people, and especially, you know, knowing that I can take someone's spell casting focus, she is going to target someone that could potentially buff another, you know, an enemy team member or heal or just what she would deem as annoying. Just to get them out of the way so that she can eventually then pick off everybody one by one.
Now,
with
I
the
do have
help
to
of,
ask,
yeah.
because this is very important. Malfox, of course, has the ability to move around opportunity attacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he wanted to, he can outmaneuver pretty much, despite his slow movement, anyone that might be on the front lines that might be stopping him from doing something.
Mm-hmm.
But mine doesn't have that. So what do you plan to do if a marshal, which is likely another frontliner, clashes with you? How do you plan to get the spellcasters, or is that goal of targeting them become obsolete at that point?
It'll become obsolete. If someone comes to her head on, she'll take them head on.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, Mai is a force to be reckoned with. I constantly think about sort of the scenario if someone were to use dominate person on her, that would be terrifying for the party to deal with.
So let me ask you both, what do you want Malfox to be doing in this? Obviously, he's a frontliner, just like Mai, but he's a bit different with being a dex-based fighter, being part rogue as well.
I think it would be very optimal for Malfox to, you know, operate in that middle area of the arena in order to kind of position himself that if people try to run by him, like get in people's faces. So if they try to run by to get to Cornelius, he can get the opportunity attack and sneak attack because he's a swashbuckler. So he doesn't need someone around him for sneak attack. So I think just operating in that middle field and being incredibly adaptable would be what I would want Malfox to do.
Okay, so sort of a more defensive role on his purpose. Okay.
Yeah, well, still attacking every turn.
Yeah, obviously. I was going to call you Mai for a second, and I did. Meg, do you agree with that logic, or do you think he should be doing something else?
I think that's good. I think that's really good because there are definitely people who are going to try and send someone out to go head to head with Mai, to keep her occupied because they know if she becomes their target of interest, then that's no bueno. So I think having someone who can sort of prevent Cornelius going down, because Cornelius is, very important with two marshals. So having him prevent something like that, or even potentially picking somebody off, is very good.
Let me ask this then. This is an interesting question. I didn't ask anyone else in my other interviews, which obviously those come out after this one.
Because we're the best.
Which of you three in-game going down would be the worst case scenario for your team? Or is it not as simple as pointing at, oh man, we are... Obviously, it's bad if any of you go down, right? But which of you three is like, oh fuck, they went down, our odds just diminished entirely? Or is there not anyone like that?
I think it's my tank. Because she has so much HP, and she really... I think... Doesn't she have some ability that decreases how much damage she takes, right?
Yeah, she reduces bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. That's non-magical is the keyword there. By 3.
Oh, so I forgot. Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention that my sword negates magical resistances too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if someone gets to Mai and is able to beat her, that because she's really like the tank of the group. I mean, she's effectively both a tank and a striker in her build. Okay. So I think if she goes down, then it's kind of I need to pull command word kill out of my bag of holding.
Command word kill? Holy shit, dude.
Command word, you should kill yourself now.
Let me see. I'm just checking some math real quick. 8 times 4 is 32, right?
Probably.
Yeah, 8 times 4 is 32.
Okay. So I have Malfox's HP here, obviously. And it's a bit higher, because I like rolling from NPCs, right? It's a bit higher than average, tiny bit. What do you think Malfox's HP is? I'm just curious.
Ooh, no. I don't know, actually. I've only played Rogue once, and that, well...
Yeah, okay.
I'd imagine it'd be floating somewhere high 60s, low 70s.
Okay, yeah, you're actually pretty correct. 74, and average is around 65-ish.
And
so you were right on the money.
What is Mai's?
Mine has 76.
And Cornelius has 58, so... So
honestly, Malfox, with an 18 AC, not bad, but I agree it's not Mai's 20 AC.
Yeah.
Which, right now on the sheet, it says it's only 18 with her shield, but that's because she hasn't done her armor yet, which she's going to get confirmed.
Because I wanted to do that. I wanted to update it when I did it, so I didn't forget.
Yeah, no, that's honestly pretty fair. It's a pretty fair build. So if mine goes down, terrible news. They're gonna get past the front lines, and Cornelius, that puts you on borrowed time, essentially.
Yeah, I'd imagine Cornelius would go down probably the most out of this party, just from the 14 AC, pretty poor stats. In comparatively to a lot of other characters, I think the strengths he has is just the strategies that I employ with meta magic and his specific spell kit.
I agree.
+5 charisma is good.
I think if anybody else played Cornelius, they would struggle a lot more than you. I think you just have a really good game awareness, just the knowledge you need to make Cornelius a force to be reckoned with. Which I know other people going to this tournament who are aware of who you are, Aiden, definitely are like, fuck, dude, this is going to be scary to go against him. Yeah, I can't tell you specifics, but I can tell you
even though
I know people are afraid of you.
Like a level 4 fighter could probably, get in his face. I'd have to, fireball, like shoot like a fireball that's like 20 feet away, so he's like in the range. So I have what's it called, the shocking grasp, which I can use, but I'm hoping not to have to rely on cantrips. If I had quicken spell, I would use cantrips more often, but I don't have that as of now. So I'm going to really be using most of my spell slots because I have so many. And I don't imagine these rounds are going to last too long.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if any of them get to like a minute in game. You know what I mean? Like, I think it'll be very quick, very powerful clashes, very fast. I'll be shocked if it goes like, I can see like people going down within the first 3 turns. I'll be real with you.
Interesting.
I
go
have
on.
11 spell slots, so that's 11 turns.
Oh my god, you're fine. You're so fucking
Plus
fine.
sorcery points.
If it gets 11 turns in and you haven't won yet, there's a problem. There's a fucking problem. I will say probably the biggest flaw with Cornelius's current build is the only way he heals is an action.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you can find a good bonus action spell to make up for that, then you shouldn't be too hindered. Do you have bonus action spells?
No, but I have one spell that I have yet to pick. So.
Okay, looking for bonus action spells, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we get to the. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I was just saying. I definitely think people are going to underestimate because she's a martial and they're not expecting Slayer.
Do you think they're underestimating because they think they understand her abilities, or?
I think that and that they definitely have an advantage being. I'm talking about the PCs in this instance, not necessarily anybody else. But I think they underestimate her because she's a martial, and martials are definitely not suitable to go up against spellcasters unless they have the spellcaster cornered and whatnot.
See, it's funny that you say that because I unironically think the best class for the tournament's Barbarian. I believe that. I believe that too.
Yeah,
honestly,
resistance is a very good thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
It's massive. You can negate so much damage. You do like 40 damage, boom, 20. Sorry, it's not that good now. You did mid damage.
But that's why I have psychic damage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty good. Because you are already aware that there are barbarians that can negate 12 of the 13. There's.
Doesn't Totem Warrior Bear?
That's what it is. It's Totem Warrior Barbarian resists 12 of the 13 types. Psychic is the only weakness there. It's not even a weakness, it's just normal.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty good. Okay. We get to the fun part now. This is the part that I enjoyed on everyone else's. God, I really hope my voice isn't that fucked up right now.
You sound fine.
Okay, I feel terrible. So I'm gonna talk about really quickly the pool that you guys are in. I have an alphabetical order, so you can't predict like, oh man, he put these guys in this position. They must be going against alphabetical order, right?
Okay.
I will be listing them off one by one if they're an NPC or a PC team. And you guys can react to them as they come in or react to them at the end, but I've had a mix, I think. I don't remember. Okay. First team, you got Daughters of the Night Sky, a player team on your side of the bracket. You have Human Forged, an NPC team on your side of the bracket. Human Forged.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. You have the Arcane Beasts, an NPC team on your side of the bracket. You have the Divine Defenders, an NPC team on your side of the bracket.
Interesting. Okay.
The Mage Mercenaries, another NPC team.
Damn it, we don't have dropping the ball. Damn it, that's the team I wanted.
You have the Reconstructionists, a PC team on your
Wait
side
a minute.
of the bracket. Yeah? What's up?
That's Blake's team, right?
Yeah, the Reconstructionist is the Blade team.
I was thinking about the one shot. I'm like, what?
No. And the last team is the Shadow Walkers, which is an NPC team on your side of the bracket.
Interesting. So
That's a cool name.
Hurricane, Winged Warriors, dropping the ball. They're all over on the other side.
No. This is a quarter. You have the quarter of the bracket.
Oh, this is a quarter. Okay.
To be clear, the party teams are all separate from one another. So you can only fight one another. Semifinals the earliest.
Okay, so these are all ones that we're not going to be able to fight.
No, these are the ones that
Yeah,
are
we
on
will
your
be
side of the
fighting.
bracket.
Oh, we are fighting. Okay.
Yes.
The-
They will be the ones on your side, on your banquet role play as well. But before asking any questions, Aiden, you want to fight dropping the ball, huh?
I absolutely want to fight.
Really? What's your logic there? What's your Is it an out of character gripe? Is it an in character? What's
No,
the
it
reason?
is. I think I could make them look like fools. I don't want to
Really?
sound mean. I love Dom, love Q. Don't know Chris that well, but he's very fun. But I think Kobe is a good build, right? But I think my could just crush Kobe. And
Oh
now,
my god, my will turn KOB into paste.
then I would love to play psychological warfare against Balthazar and Matt. Because I
Yeah,
don't
no, that's a
think
great
I'd
build.
know how they would react. So I'd love to use both telepathic speech and phantasmal force to convince Matthew that the real Balthazar is trapped somewhere and get him to go after actual Balthazar.
Oh my fucking god, dude! Holy shit!
And I think with the way the roles would play out, I think it would be favorable for me because of my high charisma.
16 DC is
And the
very
fact that I've kept it secret to Matthew and Balthazar that I can do telepathic speech.
That's really fucking funny. Okay.
I think that team specifically, we would be able to beat.
Just obliterate. It's from what you're saying. You think you could just
Maybe, I don't want to sound overconfident, right? I think they might have some fun strategies in plan that could make it competitive, but I would really want to test out those fun strategies. And I think that just using the Q's not the greatest at combat, and Matt is relatively. Is his name Matt or Chris?
Chris plays Matt.
Chris is relatively new, so I think it would be fun to be able to take advantage of that.
That's fair. That's what.
I'd also love to go against Team, but I don't think we'd make it to them because
that means they're in semifinals or finals.
yeah, I don't think we make it to them.
Any reason you want to go against Team?
I want to make people look like fools. I don't want to sound mean or anything.
So they're another team that you're like, oh yeah, I can fucking obliterate them.
I wanted to fight the Hurricane personally. Because that team in particular is the characters are some of the most frequent characters that actually get under my skin the most.
Well, I know Marlon does. Does Arya get under my skin?
No, not
Alexi
Arya.
does.
Alexi does.
Oh, Alexi.
Dude, fucking, oh my god, Alexi. That's a fun interview. Go watch that. It's episode 3.
A lot of
No,
it
it's episode
is-
2. I'm wrong. Oh shit, it's coming out after this one. Oh my god.
A lot of it is personal, but also it's for me. I want to. How do I say this without sounding like a narcissist? I want to basically be like, Mai is a good character. Look who she beat,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Well, Marley is considered like a mini raid boss by you guys.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So
I'd love to face in the finals the Winged Warriors.
that would be awesome.
Mai going against her girlfriend, Cornelius going against his bro,
Hello.
Reknork, and Justin. He's bros with Justin too. I think that would be a fun match. But yeah, out of the, I foresee the only way we'd face dropping the ball would be if they're in the semis. I don't
finals
foresee them,
kind of team.
I don't foresee them beating the Winged Warriors or
Or the Hurricane. Okay.
the Hurricane.
So let me ask this question then. On the list I gave you, right, on these 7 teams.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to fight the most? Whether it be you think you can beat them, or you think it'll be a fun match based on their name or based on the players on there.
Mage Mercenaries sound like it's a lot of spellcasters. So that might be good for Mai, because she has a build to beat spellcasters.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was thinking too. Like mage mercenaries either sound like marshals who have trained themselves to go against mages, or a bunch of mages who are mercenaries. Either way, that would be an interesting fight.
Human Forge sounds interesting. Daughters of the Night Sky sounds interesting. Would love to go up against the Reconstructionist just because Blake is a pretty interesting player, and I haven't seen him in combat in a while.
And
So
he's
I'd
with
like
Caden.
Yeah, I've never seen Caden play, so I can't.
Well,
speak
he's
to him.
fucking Caden. He's awesome.
But I'd like to see how Blake's characters. Pull
Okay.
off. And who are the Daughters of the Night Sky?
Daughters of the Night Sky, actually, is they're all, to my knowledge, cosplayers on TikTok, right? And they're
Oh.
actually planning to my knowledge, I could be fucking wrong, right? But from the brief conversations I've had with one of them, very recently, testing out this bot to make it work, they plan to cosplay as their characters,
Oh,
which is
that
really
would
fucking cool.
they would be very fun to face then.
They're all really
Yeah.
nice. They're all very sweet.
I-
I love them to death.
I'd love to face them then.
No, I know,
Because-
because I was looking at the profiles, and the way they determine like people is by going onto their mutual friends list. So none of them have like mutual friends besides one of them being friends with you, Zach. So I'm like, who are these people?
They had to add me as a friend in order to
No, I
make
know.
a Discord
I know.
group. That's why. Yeah. It was honestly, they'll eventually get their review. I don't fucking know what episode number they are. They've been just a great I don't want to say like, but they've been so
They were
just
fun.
kind and generous and fun. I love their team. I hope they do well. So
Yeah, they could be fun to face up against too.
Yeah.
what about you, Meg? What do you think? Because it looks like from what Aiden's saying, most of these teams, he's like, yeah, I'm interested in fighting these guys.
I mean, I'm interested in fighting them, Daughters of the Night Sky, because that's a cool name, and I'm curious to what they would be. I'm guessing one of them might be a druid.
Maybe Twilight, the main
That's what
cleric.
I was thinking. I was thinking Twilight the main cleric, or maybe Circle of Stars druid,
Or Moon Druid too.
or Moon druid too. Yeah, and obviously mage mercenaries. Everyone else is just kind of like, yeah, they're cool. Human Forge sounds weird because that makes me think of Warforged that are wearing like human skin. So
Oh, that's disgusting that you say that. No, they're a sick team. How dare you?
Arcane
Oh, that's gross.
beasts could be trouble just if they're not humanoids.
Oh, because they ignore a lot of different spells and stuff, right?
well,
No,
don't
because Slayer.
no, don't
Oh
worry.
shit, it's a Slayer. Okay.
Slayer humanoids covers a vast majority of.
What
But
if we're
stuff
up-
like Fae are not
What-
humanoids, for example.
Not
What if we're up
Fae.
against 3 Horcus Porcus bears? I mean,
Oh shit, everything about that, Meg? 3 Hocus Pocus Bears, everything about that?
My fought a bear with her bare hands, so.
But Slayer won't work on them. Uh-oh.
But her fist,
Uh-oh.
well,
Hocus Pocus Bear, for all of you guys who do not know, coming to this, I have a session I run in person. My boy Mike, also on one of the teams, the Salty Seaman. Be sure to watch that video. I think it's episode 5 or something. I don't know. He plays Hocus Pocus Bear. And he's a bear that's cursed with knowledge and magic. That's it. He's an actual bear. It's great. I love it to death. Okay, next question. Pick a team here that you think you don't want to fight, whether it be they might be boring or you don't know if you could beat them, or they might have a scary name or something like that. Fuck if I know. Whatever your criteria is.
I it's not that I'm like disinterested in them, but they just none of the other ones besides the ones I listed really are stand out to me. Shadow Walkers is kind of out of the edge, but you know,
Okay.
Shadow Walkers, I would theorize that perhaps I know Arya had an NPC related to her.
Lucius.
Ooh.
Lucius.
Yeah, Lucius. Yep.
Perhaps I know he was like a thief or something, and he you know would fit being a Shadow Walker, I guess. Divine Defenders would be interesting because that's probably Paladin, Cleric, so that might those classes
Holy
are
people.
kind of tricky to fight. So probably Shadow Walkers because they probably have an important NPC, and then the Divine Defenders.
If we go against Shadow Walkers and one of them turns out to be the Crows, Malfox and Cornelius will probably have to stop Mai from killing them. Not gonna lie.
I will say, if you kill, you are DQ'd.
I'm aware. I'm fully
Okay.
aware. I'm fully aware because
Yes,
I
I'm aware.
asked.
Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure you're on the same page. Okay.
That's
So
why I
Shadow
said
Walkers.
that.
Shadow Walkers. Looks like you guys both don't want to fight Shadow Walkers. That's kind of the agreement
It's
there?
not don't. It's just they don't strike my fancy.
That still don't want to fight them. It's like, yeah, I'd rather not waste my time with them.
That's fair.
Okay. Totally get it. Totally understand. I have pretty much just one more question, and that is a question I keep forgetting to ask people. So thankfully, I did it this time. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident would you say you are to win this whole thing?
Oof. To the whole thing?
The whole thing. How confident are you?
Oh,
It's 5 matches in theory. You gotta win 5 matches to win the entire event.
You know what? I'm gonna be generous and give us a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Aiden.
Yeah.
I'll give a 50-50 shot. I think we're one of the front runner teams.
Yeah.
50-50 as in like 5 out of 10. Damn. Okay.
I think that for me in particular, I want to win for a multitude of reasons, but I think the one thing that's really going to push me to win this is simply because mine and Cornelius are sort of seen as the faces of elemental evil too.
They
And
really are. Honestly,
we-
it feels like they're very I don't want to say they feel like they're main characters, but if I had to pick 2 people that are main characters, it'd be you two.
It's just that would be really cool, having the 2 of them do that. And I think in terms of my story arc, that would be big,
Yeah. Here's another thing that I think gives us a slight edge over our competition. Just to confirm, this is going to be posted after the matches, right? So people.
This will be posted around probably when the top 4 teams are already decided. So you had 3 matches.
All right. I think one of the things that'll set us apart is that Meg knows fighter like the back of her hand, and I know sorcerer like the back of my hand. We also are both DMs. Meg has a very long running campaign. I have a campaign with like 8 sessions, I think. And I think understanding the rules of combat will be incredibly crucial because I know you're not going to pull any punches as a DM. This is, you need to pay attention, you need to understand the rules, you need to play hard, you need to fight to win. And I think that we will both do that. And I think that there will be other players that possibly slip up in the rules and miss an action or don't calculate their correct damage.
Yeah.
Or bitch and moan and get knocked psychic points
and not pay attention.
Dude,
about
I'm hoping nobody bitches and moans when they lose a match, dude. I am praying it's all good vibes. I'm gonna have like a rules prior. I'm gonna sit down with everyone before each banquet and be like, yeah, guys, make sure you don't do this. This is what I do not want to see.
I think that gives us an edge. And if I had to lay out like the top 4 or 5 teams that I think have the best chance of winning, I'd say it's us, it's Hurricane, it's the Winged Warriors, and it's the Salty Seamen.
Interesting. Okay.
Because
so
I know
Mike.
Mike. Oh, and Triple S I think will be underrated because Kyle is quite good at D&D.
Okay.
His
dice sometimes suck though, but we use digital dice. So it's not gonna matter.
I also feel like I would have a personal edge because Zach and I did so in my campaign that Aiden mentioned. Zach has a fighter, and as soon as that fighter turned level 8, Zach was like, "Hey, let's have the 2 strongest fighter characters in, our D&D history go against each other." So
it's a 2-turn combat.
It was 2 turns just because Jake Arcane is very powerful. But I kind of have that mindset now of like, all right, this is sort of how I need to optimize my, essentially. Like turn 1 is crucial, and I know what exactly to do for turn 1 that will give us an upper hand.
That's why, like, after doing that PvP bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of convinced there's a good chance it'll be like 5 rounds per combat. I'll be real with you. Like, there's a chance it's quick as fuck, right? Which is weird to say because we've had PvP matches last like half an hour before between groups of like 7, But I think if everyone is just moving efficiently, right?
Yeah.
There's a good chance that it could still last maybe that much time, but it'll be like in game less than 30 seconds,
Yeah.
Like that's the crazy part to me.
I also think that Meg and I are both 2 of the more experienced players.
Oh, I agree. Completely, I agree. Meg has been playing for as long as I've been DMing, and you have picked up on the rules so fucking well with Cornelius that I'd be shocked if someone looked at you, knew who you were, right? Knew how much knowledge you have strategizing and stuff, and be like, yeah, he's okay. Because this is an opinion I voiced before. I often consider you easily like probably arguably the best player across.
Whoa,
all-
don't set. I don't want announcers curse here, bro.
Yo,
Don't
you know, yeah, okay, my bad,
Do
my
not
bad, my
finish
bad.
Quick,
Lose
take
round
it
one,
back.
lose
Yeah,
round one.
Take it back. Take it back.
Oh yeah, take it back. You're actually
Take it
dog
back.
shit. You're terrible. You're fucking.
Thank
Dude, if I had a choice of watching you play D&D or sniffing some dog ass, bro, you know what? I'm gonna be gone, bro.
Whoa. Hey now.
Anyways, moving on. From that, I take it back and knock on wood. You know, you're gonna do great. You're gonna do fine. But yeah, that takes us to the end of the interview. Unless you guys want to add anything.
We're the best.
I look forward to fighting.
Uh-huh.
Meeting people in the banquet. I think this should be fun.
Oh, dude, that's what I'm most excited about for now. Anyways, plug yourselves, guys. We're at the end. Where can people go to find you to get more Aiden and Meg content?
That's a funny question because I don't consistently post art. But if you do want to follow my art
Plug all of
account,
them. Plug everything you have. Go ahead. Anything you want to plug. Anything
let's
you want to
go.
plug.
Follow me on twitch.tv/dubstepkitnyt. Follow me on Instagram, dubs_n_wubs for
And
my
link
art.
the letter.
Yeah, and like the letter. I have a card in the bio for my other art stuff. YouTube is dubstepkitnyt. Let's go.
Got it. And Aiden?
I should post on Twitter sometimes. At Cup of Jones 46.
Oh,
But
I
if
do.
you-
I do too. Dubstepkitnyt.
If you really want more Aiden, follow one more role.
Oh my god!
A lot, and maybe I'll DM a campaign here one day. I don't know.
That'd be
Maybe I'll
dope.
play
That'd be
more.
dope.
But yeah, follow one more role.
Thank you both so much for sitting down for this like hour and a fucking half. It's been like an hour and a half. Yeah, it's like an hour and a half. Thank you so much for sitting down and just doing this with me. I know it's late. I appreciate you guys so much, and good luck in the tournament.
Of course.
If anyone wants to end on any note, just fucking say it out, and I'll just fucking hit the stop button. But otherwise, I'm just gonna stop.
Peace out. Don't forget to take a long rest.